I know. I'm late to this discussion, but honestly, I wanted to wait till fall because there's something about watching Over the Garden Wall in autumn that just feels right. I watched this back in 2014. I was around 12 and I decided to go back and watch it again. And I realized something. This show wasn't nostalgic for me because I was a kid. This show was nostalgic because it feels like something I would have found on my mom's old bookshelf. We're gonna start with the art style. The art style was one of the first things that had me hooked. There's something about the way the backgrounds are painted and the way the characters move through these environments that make the world feels much more older than the show actually is. A lot of the environments take inspiration from 19th and 20th century American art, and some of the backgrounds even resemble Brunel paintings. It reminds me of old storybooks and the stuff I grew up with, like Coraline, The Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, Labyrinth, and Pan's Labyrinth. Stuff I'll probably cover in the future. That gloomy, whimsical, eerie, vintage story feeling is exactly what Over the Garden Wall feels like. And honestly, I think that's a huge part of why the show still holds up. It doesn't feel like it belongs in one specific time period. It feels like you found it somewhere. The atmosphere. The atmosphere is cozy and whimsical, but there's always something underneath it. You have that crisp autumn air, crunchy, colorful leaves, and this dark undertone with a bit of psychological horror. It's not scary because it's trying to be scary. It's scary because something feels slightly off. The unknown can be beautiful, funny, cozy, and horrifying within the same episode. And I love that about it. You can be laughing at one thing, and then the show will casually remind you that there is something genuinely lurking somewhere in these woods. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the music. And probably one of the biggest strengths of the show is the music. Take away the music, and you have a completely different show. The soundtrack brings this world to life with folk, jazz, jug band, and operatic influences. One of my favorite songs being The Highwayman. Just imagine you're sitting, you're watching this dark, mysterious adventure, and suddenly and you're just like, what the hell is going on? Because that's exactly how I felt rewatching it. And then you have the quieter, more melancholic songs like Into the Unknown, performed by Jack Jones. And that contrast is one of the things that make this show special. The music can make the unknown feel warm and inviting one second and make it feel incredibly lonely the next. Then we get into the characters. Wirt is this anxious, overthinking teenager who's always second guessing himself and worried about what other people think. Greg is basically the complete opposite. Outgoing, curious, friendly, always happy to make a new friend. Then you have Beatrice, a complicated bluebird who gets a guide and be a friend to the boys. The Williams is a tragic and misunderstood character, spending his days chopping edible wood to turn it into oil for his lantern, believing that the lantern is the light that keeps the darkness away. And in that darkness lurk the beast. The beast is the danger that lies just beyond where the light touches, making the unknown even more unsettling. Just knowing he could be nearby, watching or stalking the Woodmans or the boys, make him terrifying. And that's what I think the characters work so well. They don't just exist into the unknown. They make the unknown more interesting. They represent a different part of this strange world, especially Wirt and Greg, because despite all the whimsical weirdness, This show is ultimately about two brothers just trying to make their way back home. So, what the hell do I actually think the unknown is? Well, this is just my interpretation, but to me, the unknowns feel like a kind of limbo, a place between life and death. It always feels strangely cozy, almost like home. But there's something off about it, something you can't quite put your finger on. And honestly, that's how I feel watching this show. The further we go into the unknown, the more I felt that strange mixture of comfort and uneasiness. There was moments of charm, comfort, joy, and laughter. But underneath all of that, there was always this feeling of fear, loneliness, quiet darkness, like something was watching you. And that strange part is that you want to leave, but you don't remember how to get back. It almost feels nostalgic in a way, like a place you've been before, even though you know you haven't. Going back into this show, I expected nostalgia. What I didn't expect to was what I didn't expect was to finally understand why I liked it in the first place. It's comforting, it's weird, it's funny, it's unsettling. And maybe that's exactly why the unknown is supposed to feel like. And maybe that's exactly what the unknown is supposed to feel like. This has been That Cryptid Juno, and I'll see you next time in this corner of YouTube.